Give Penn State a lot of credit. Thought they played really well. They front really from the tip, and we were not certainly defensively where we needed to be. But I don't want to take anything away from Penn State. I thought they were terrific. And Carr, we had no answer for him the whole night. I thought he controlled the game. So we've got to find a way to prepare our guys better as coaches, and we got to figure out a way to play better next week. So,
like you said, defensively, it just seemed like maybe something was off. Did they do anything that surprised you, or did you just feel something wasn't clicking defensively?
No, you look at them and you say they're really talented. I think Carter's clearly a pro. I think he's going to be a first-round draft pick here at some point. He's not shot it real well. He was shooting just above 32, 33% in league play. He was 10 of 14, and I think 4 or 5. Guys, they played well, and we've got to figure out a way to maybe put our guys in better position defensively, and then our guys have to come out with more presence defensively than what we did. They were clearly the more physical team the entire night. Clearly, wasn't even close. One of the most physical games I've coached in. I can't remember a game this physical that I've coached in, to be honest with you. So we've got to do a better job responding. If the game is going to be this physical, and it's going to be allowed to be this physical, then we've got to do a better job responding to that.
How did you feel you guys handled in the second half there? There were a number of foul shots early. The crowd got into it. Jay Sean said maybe you guys need to handle that better. How did you see that unfold to open the half, and how did that impact the team going forward?
I think it's a good lesson for us. We got to play with a little more poise when, we didn't feel like, for whatever reason, guided. I looked at some of those calls, and I won't say much about that. Penn State beat us. They were the better team tonight, but I think we got to play with a little more, respond in those moments with a little more poise. I was obviously upset, but in the second half, but I was trying to be calm myself because I felt like our guys were a little too emotional, but they care. They care at a really high level. It's one of the best things about this group.
Coach, you mentioned power, but down the stretch, you got some unbelievable shots from Tata. Ultimately, is that what you want? Ball in the hands of your best player. How do you think he performed, all things considered, with him, battling the flu?
I thought he did a great job offensively. I think defensively, he can continue to. We need him to be. He's so important for us. We need him to be great for us offensively and defensively. And I thought that offensively, some of the shots he made late were sensational. He really played I think he played a really sound offensive game, particularly late making those shots. But yeah, he is. There are other guys. I thought he and JT, when we needed a 3, when we called a timeout, we were running something to get a 3, but they really played with really good poise and composure in that situation to get a quick 2, and that's what the defense was giving us. I thought it was an outstanding play on Caleb, JT's part to finish that play and get a quick 2 and extend the game.
You've mentioned before that sometimes the best thing to do after a tough loss is to get back up and play right away. Just so happens that in the stretch of all these games, now you have a little longer of a break. What do you do to keep spirits up and kind of get across that message that it is just one game?
Yeah, I think win or lose tonight, we were going to need to learn a lot from this game because of how physical they were. And again, I thought they were more physical than we were, and made just more effort plays for certainly segments of the game. So we were going to need to hopefully learn from this one way or the other. I think that our guys, because of the stretch, it's mandated, we have to give them 2 days off. So they need that physically, probably mentally. So we have to give them a couple days off. So, again, this is not unlike what we thought could happen at some point. we'll see how we respond. Indiana's really good, playing as well as anybody in the league. So was Illinois. Indiana beat these guys at home at their place and wasn't even real close. So we need to be better. Hopefully we will. Hopefully the rest will help.
Chris, in the second half, you I guess had to sit Cada because he had a 4, and then probably had to sit JT because he needed a blow. And in those 3 or 4 minutes, whatever, they went from 7 to 13. Just what was your mindset? Did you think about not pulling JT off or putting Cada back on, and just how hard was that balance in that particular juncture?
Well, we really need one of those guys on the floor most every. In Big Ten play, we need one of those guys on the floor most times. We had not an odd lineup, but we had a lot of subs in there at one point when they stretched the lead to 13. And part of that is me trying to get some of those guys some more experience and some experience in a tight game. But and I think there were times where they did some good things, but we had CJ out in the first half, that hurt us, and then you had JT and Cada, and we're just not. We can't as a team right now manage, particularly when a team's playing as well as Penn State was. We can't. I'm not sure we can. You know, we need to make sure one of those guys is on the floor most times, but it was difficult to do that with some foul trouble.
And then, as you sit there now, what's your balance of upset at some of the defensive lapses, but also maybe happy with the rally to almost put you in a position to force overtime?
Yeah, no, I think this team has tremendous spirit, but we've got to find a way as coaches to play better and put our guys in as good a position as we can put them in. I certainly would have been disappointed if we did not show any life there in the last couple minutes. That would have been even more disappointing. Because I think our guys were frustrated. They felt like they were guarding them well at times and they were just making shots. But I think what we'll see is there were other reasons. They made some tough shots, but we allowed them to get in a rhythm too. But again, I don't want to take anyone away from Penn State. I thought they were outstanding. I thought Carr controlled the game.
Coach, I know you say that you like to just go up and play right away after a loss, but do you feel like, given the amount of games that you played here in Indiana, and then not only that's just taking the amount of time, but Purdue obviously on the horizon right after Indiana, do you feel like
Illinois.
And Illinois, I guess too, but do you feel like it's good to kind of have some rest here before you've got a really important stretch of games here?
Yeah, we probably need a little bit of rest, but we need to get back to work too. One of the things that when you play this number of games that you don't get is consecutive practice days, and that's an issue. It catches up with you. You have slippage. It happens in the NBA when they have crazy stretches. Happens in college. You have slippage when you don't have consecutive practice days, and we've not been able to have that where we've been able to practice 2-3 days. But again, every team in our league has some of those moments. So I'm not saying poor us. It's just we'll look forward to just having a couple days of practice as we lead into next week.
Chris, I'm curious whether you've ever lost that way. I assume you've lost at the buzzer, but maybe not quite that way. I know you guys practice how to make those shots to set.
Yeah.
How much do you practice how to defend him? It looked like you had 2 there, maybe not right in his face, but
Yeah.
close enough. Have you?
Yeah, we do practice it and talk through those situations. I think they were trying to call timeout, but a lot of teams just play on in that situation, particularly when you have a guy like Carr. You have a guy like him, you don't really want to call a timeout of that situation to get the defense set. You just want him to just kind of play. So I think that we could have pressed up a little more, but CJ was there and Cada was close. We could have probably been a little bit closer in that situation. You'd like for him to actually change the trajectory of a shot. But we do practice those situations, and I've lost one other time like that when I was at Gardner Webb on a play very similar, and I think that Now that one didn't bank, that didn't bank in, but I've lost one other time like that.
Have you won like that?
Never have. No, we've won a lot of ways, you know, in the last closing seconds off of a tip-in or an action or an end of game, but yet to chuck one up to a half-court shot or, you know, 40-footer.
With 11 makes from 3, have you started to think about kind of what the approach is for talking to your guys on how to improve defending the 3 going into Indiana?
You know, we'll look at it. We'll look at how many of those were open. You know, they've not shot it that well. Now, we let Chef Gardner get open and get free early, and that gave him some confidence. But they had some guys make some that had not made them before. But listen, you know, when a team's coming in here and you're nationally ranked, people are not going to play poorly. You know, that's not going to happen. So we need to be able to be better. And that begins on the defensive end.
You mentioned
Couple more.
in the past wanting to see how the team performs down the stretch in a close game like this. You didn't get the stops, but what does it do for the team? What does it do for you when they see their shots going in? CJ got things going with his 2 threes. Jay Sean had the play drawn up for the 3, decided, you know, made the right call for the layup.
Again, I'm sorry.
Jay Sean had the play drawn up for the 3, but he,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
took it to the basket. Kata makes his. What does it do for them to see the ball go in those moments?
Yeah, hopefully it gives them a great amount of confidence in what we're doing. Players, you know, players win games, and those plays that our group made, but Kata finished, gave us a great position or put us in a great position to advance this thing to overtime. Kata made some, you know, outstanding shots. You know, we tried a couple actions. They defended it well. Our guys responded to how they defended it. And then Kata just made a couple. He made three threes in the last couple of minutes. Dockage found him on the one in transition, and then the other 2 were actions that we ran for him. But at the end of the day, he really. I think it gives our group confidence. Hopefully, in what we can do.
Okay, last one.
I know you obviously want to win every game. Are you a little bit interested to see what you can take from a loss like this and how your team might respond to adversity like this? Because you obviously faced it in games, you've found ways to win, but are there things that maybe you can teach from this, from a loss that you just can't teach out of a win?
Well, we'll see. You know, I think time will tell how we respond to this, and I'm anxious to see. You know, I'm anxious to see if this is, you know, if this is something where we chalk up and say, hey, listen, this was just a team that came in here. Obviously, Penn State played well, but there is some accountability that we all, coaches and players, have to take on how can we perform better. And you know, we'll see. We'll see what our response is next week. Again, I think we've got an Indiana team that's talented and playing really well. So I am anxious to see that, and I think time will tell.
Okay, thanks, Coach.